Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the Tired Witches podcast. I'm Ashley.
And I'm Olivia.
And I am so excited for this episode. I know Olivia is super excited for this episode. I'm just speaking for her. But it is our favorite controversial couples celebration week. Why are they so controversial, Liv? I don't get that.
I don't understand it either. In my opinion, it's just people nitpicking. Because I've never seen a couple be this diversive in a fandom, like a main couple. And they are undoubtedly a main couple within this series. They are, per the author's words, the main couple that started the series.
Mm-hmm.
And yet this is the most controversial out of all of them, which is crazy to me. I don't get it. Maybe that's why I gravitate towards it so much, is the controversy, not understanding why people don't get it or don't see it or always have something negative to say.
And I've always liked them even before they had all this controversy. So for
I
me,
joined this year, so yeah, I mean,
well, and I was years ago, so we both have a different perspective there. And for me, I don't know about you, but when I am reading found family series like this, I get really, really excited for couples that are slowly built up. When there's like this mystery and intrigue, like, okay, I need to know what's going on here.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, Hughie and Lizzie have always had that. Whether people want to have this argument of them being planned from the beginning or not, it's there. It is there. I clocked it.
You can argue that. You can argue all you want, but the fact is, Chloe Walsh herself said they were planned from the very beginning. And if you actually have reading comprehension skills, you can go back to Binding and Keeping and point out those moments. Like, they're in the books.
We went on a live, like, in August one night for 2.5 hours going through the Binding 13 and Keeping 13 Easter eggs.
Yes.
Guys, we put a lot of those in our first podcast episode.
Yeah.
A lot of the information in that 2005 timeline came from solely the 13 duet.
Yep.
And so that's why it is absolutely wild to me that people to this day still say they cannot see anything in the 13 duet with Hughie and Lizzie.
Or that this came out of nowhere. I'm like, it really didn't. As someone who's newer to the fandom, I did not know, jumping in, I did not know that Hughie and Lizzie were going to be a couple. Right? When I started the 13 duet, I knew Johnny Shannon, that's it, and Claire Gibsie. That is it. Okay? I was noticing those signs from book one. From someone who started this year back in March, April, whenever I started reading the duet, like, I saw those signs immediately without having the knowledge of Chloe Clovers and the past interviews with Chloe. And I saw it. So.
Okay, so for me, I read both of them. The camping trip was what tipped it off for me. Because I'm like, why the hell does this guy care about what this girl thinks and what she's saying so much? Yeah. After I finished the 13 duet, this is when Chloe was on like a permanent hiatus, I would say. This was after the death of her child. And she had said she didn't even know if she was going to write Joey's books. Like, there was just nothing going on. There was a big question mark. And so I kind of did a little bit of scouring the internet, and as you guys know, all of the indie covers are there. Like, all of these books are uploaded into Goodreads. And so when I saw Claiming 10 and the cover, I was like, okay, this all makes sense. This makes sense. I was not just seeing things. This makes a lot of sense. And I don't know if, what's the phrase I'm looking here for, Olivia? I know it's not selective hearing because we're not listening, but people are choosing to read what they're putting blinders on.
Tunnel blindness.
Yeah.
Tunnel, you know? They have this blindness. They want to ignore the facts to fit their narrative because they don't like the facts.
People are so fixated on one quote that Hugh said, and you guys have been like narking on me or whatever for getting
that Hugh said from someone else's POV.
Yes,
from someone else's
Johnny's POV. I would like to point out, Johnny, we love Mr. Rugby. Before you come for me, he doesn't even know his homeboy's birthday.
Yeah,
okay.
He didn't know that Claire was Hughie's sister. Like,
yes.
He also has selective hearing, so. Taking quotes from someone else's POV means nothing to me.
And that is quite literally the one quote everybody runs with.
Or that Chloe Walsh Facebook post, which we've already also debunked.
Yeah.
So I don't understand. Like, once again, when Chloe Walsh posts on there, hey guys, I'm not invested in Hughie Katie, how about you? It's her warning you.
And
she's
that
like,
post
don't get
came
invested.
like 2 days after Keeping 13 was released. So she was basically giving you guys a heads up, like, Katie and Hughie are not going to be the couple.
Yeah.
So
like, it wasn't her being like, I'm gonna change my mind. There were her own words, and that's not her gaslighting. She's had this series planned since she was a teenager. She knows best. It is her work. Katie and Hughie were never the plan. It was always Liz and Hugh.
Always.
They were the first couple that she thought of, was Liz and Hugh. So I truly don't understand this weird narrative, and it's just people trying to hate, so I don't get it.
Nope, I don't either. I really, really don't. And so these were like the obvious to me things that I picked up the first time I read this. Back in fall of 2022, when we didn't even know if we were going to get a continuation.
Yeah.
So then, let's fast forward to my favorite scene. And I haven't even seen it in the POV that I want it from yet.
Okay.
The 90s party.
Oh, yes. Okay. The 90s party.
Okay.
We have our hyperfixations. Ashley's is the 90s party.
Yes. Guys, so go watch my releasing. See, too many R's. We gotta stop with this.
Redeeming.
That is why T10 cannot be a T. Because with taming, we need different vowels, we need different letters, consonants, all that stuff, okay?
Yeah.
So when Redeeming 6 came out, watch my vlog, I clock it right away. The first part, they are at a party at the Biggs house. We now know it's the famous 90s party, which I want to just point out, nobody fucking gave a shit about this party 2.5 years ago.
No one gave a shit about it until
I started
3.5 months ago?
Mm-hmm. Imagine that. So, anyway, Joey is so intuitive, right? He clocks everything. And I'm like, this is important. And I found it weird that no one was talking about that.
Yeah.
I really found it weird. Joey walks in on them in the kitchen. Okay, they're having an argument. Hughie's begging her not to go up the stairs. This is when he's dating Katie. This is like 2 days before Shannon starts at Binding 13.
Yeah.
And we still don't think that they're a planned couple? Okay.
Interesting.
All right.
Interesting. Sure. The camping scene alone should show you that they were planned. The camping scene alone, there's so much tension between Katie, Feely, Lizzie, Hughie. There's so much tension that Shannon clocks it. That alone should tell you. His words towards Feely in those scenes, and Feely's words towards him, there's so much underlining meaning to them that I picked it up. I was like, I think they're talking about something else besides this Gibsie situation. There's something we don't know that's going on here.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
that's what I'm saying. I read this in November 2022, and I'm like, this guy cares way too much. He cares way too much.
Yeah.
So then, after Redeeming 6 and that whole 90s party, then when I went to like my third or fourth reread of the 13 duet, then I started looking harder.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when I started noticing further details.
Yeah.
Like how when he's with Katie and Lizzie would talk, he'd snap his head up and stuff like that. I started to
pull away from Katie immediately.
I'd start to notice those little details.
Yeah. All of my annotations in Binding and Keeping are Liz Hugh. I have nothing annotated for Shannon John. It is all Liz Hugh moments, to be honest with you.
Oh, I've got a lot. Just because I've read them like 5 times, so
that was my obsession way back then. Well, because then I think one of my favorite TikToks I ever did, and guys, be mindful if I'm checking my phone, it's because Chloe Walsh is currently releasing playlists.
It is Friday afternoon as we are recording.
It is Friday afternoon. It's
not the middle of the night. This is 2 weeks in a row we've done a decent 9 to 5 hour.
We've been pretty consistent here. I'm pretty proud of us, honestly. Because normally we're like, we gotta film last minute, and we're rushing last minute. But we've been pretty good the last 2 weeks. I think trying to keep on schedule's gonna go well for us. But I did a video right before it was right before Releasing 10 came out, about me preparing to defend Lizzie from all her haters.
I remember seeing that.
That was before Releasing 10 even came out. I was already a Lizzie girl, like right off the bat. That's one of my favorite TikToks I've ever done.
Yeah,
so,
and I've liked Lizzie from the beginning too. So
she was my girl. I always love a misunderstood female character.
That's mine. Yeah, me too.
So, like, there's always something deeper underneath it.
I was waiting to read Nesta's book by book 2 of ACOTAR. I'm like,
oh, okay, me too. I was
let's just get to the
more
interesting sister here. So.
Yeah, I was frothing at the mouth for Nesta book, because I knew there's something more underneath it. There always is.
Well, that's what my argument was. I have a full YouTube video. I have multiple TikToks on it with all of the heinous Goodreads reviews that were posted prior to R10, sending Chloe death threats, sending the character death threats. And my argument was like, do you not want to get inside this character's head? I really want to know what's going on, because guys, you even say it yourself, it's not normal for people to act like this. Yeah. So don't you want to see why?
Yeah.
But no. We just love villainizing people and victimizing other people to fit a narrative that we want. So it's just exhausting. It really, really is. And quite frankly, as much as I love Lizzie Hughie, I'm going to be happy when Lizzie Hughie are wrapped up, so I don't have to listen to the Toxicity anymore. I can reread Hughie and Lizzie constantly.
So I can just be done?
I can just reread them as much as I want.
Yeah. So I can just be done?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, luckily I'm very excited for the Liz Hugh stuff to come. I'm very, very excited.
Now, besides Dublin, what from that 13 duet timeline are you most looking forward to seeing?
So, as you know, her hyperfixation...
Yeah, so I won't mention... I'll pick something else other than the 90s party.
Her hyperfixation is the 90s party. My hyperfixation has always been Dublin. From day one, it's always been friends. Dublin. It's how we became friends. Because I
think we need to plan an actual Dublin trip in the future, like to celebrate.
Oh my god. Yes, I would love that. Yes. I would love that. Because my 3 a.m. ranting and raving to her about Dublin and all my theories on Dublin, and being like, there's something else going on here in this bus. Interesting. There's so many hidden context clues in Dublin alone in Keeping. Like, there's so many little context clues in Binding and Keeping for them. And then you get Keeping, which my second hyperfixation is the camping trip.
Okay.
Because...
yeah, fair.
There is so much underlying tension there. And Feely looks at Lizzie and he says, come here. And Shannon clocks it immediately. She listens to him. She doesn't give any lip back. She immediately goes over to Feely. And so my first thought is, what's that dynamic?
Yeah.
You know? There's a dynamic going on in this square that we're not aware of. I immediately clock. And I want to know, what's that dynamic there? Why does Feely then look at Hugh? Doesn't even look at Hugh. He's talking to Lizzie. He's like, they all think they're perfect, that they've never made any mistake. He's just throwing shade over there. While his hyperfixation is just trying to get Lizzie to be calm and get her out of that situation.
Oh, he's had it. He's had it with all of these people on this trip.
Yeah. So then my second is, okay, what is the dynamics during that trip?
Okay.
And then you look at the second camping trip as well in Keeping, which the dynamics are very interesting there as well, because then Lizzie shows back up with Pierce. She's not there with him at Johnny's, but she does show up with him. So then I'm like, and we know, per Taming 7, that there's a lot going on there as well, right? Between Hughie and Liz. So I'm like, the camping trips are going to be very interesting to get from their POVs. Obviously, my main focus is Dublin. I'm so hyperfixated on that. I cannot fucking wait for Dublin. You guys I'm so fucking stoked. Like, I just know I'm going to be so excited about Dublin.
I feel like on St. Patrick's Day, you're gonna sit in a bar just crying, like, here's to Hughie and Lizzie. And people are gonna be like, what the fuck, girl? It's St. Patty's Day. We're supposed to be celebrating, dancing.
It's gonna be great. They're gonna be like, why does she just keep saying Dublin over again? What's going on over there? So I think the 90s party is one I'm interested in. I'm also really interested in, just based on the snippets, the New Year's Eve of that year. Because we know something goes down with them based on the snippets.
Technically in the 13 duet.
No.
So I would say the 13 duet, I actually, when Claire and Shannon and Gibsie leave the bedroom, the diarrhea.
So cute. Oh my god, that's another good one.
Yeah. I'm excited to see what happens there.
Yeah.
And then in the Taming 7 timeline, I'm really excited to see what happened after the hot chocolate when he took her home before he threw Mark up against a wall. Mm-hmm. When they were gone for hours. And Claire's like, where the hell have you been?
Yeah.
Like, you left hours ago. I'm really excited to see what happened in that car ride.
The pool scene there, too, from the Taming 7. I'm excited to see what goes on there. You know?
There's just so much.
You guys, Chloe just posted a playlist for her husband.
Oh.
This is Walshy. Walshy, how cute is that?
That is cute.
How cute. Being in love with your husband. Aw. Can't relate.
What a concept.
I know. Wow. You mean we're not miserable?
I loved mine when I woke up this morning. We'll see what happens when he comes home. Yeah. Sometimes his mood when he leaves the house in the morning shifts before he returns. Mine
took out the trash last night, so he's in a good spot. I didn't have to ask him to do it either, so those are the little things that when you're married, I literally clocked it immediately. I said, you took out the cardboard boxes, and he was like, yeah, and I'm like, oh.
I'm married to a clean freak, so
Greg grew up in a hoarder's house, so
see, if I don't clean during the day. Anyway, back to Hughie Lizzie.
Back to Hughie Lizzie. So I also think when we get Releasing 10, because that did just come out a couple months ago this year, we get a lot of Hugh Liz there. It is a lot. I mean, it's how many pages in that book?
It's like 700. It's just under 800.
It's like there's a lot, and we get a long timeline.
You have a version right down there?
I do.
Mine's out in my library, so yours is like right there.
I do. But I hate reading that last page.
Don't read it. Just look at the bottom. Look at the bottom.
7:30.
7:30, okay.
7:30.
Yeah. This next book's gonna be thick, guys. Thick. It's gonna be a bad boy.
Because we have a lot to get through.
We have a lot. Like I said, that whether you want to see it or not, there is so much interaction between those two in that 13 duet timeline. And that 13 duet timeline only covers majority of those books was January through May. With a small portion being the end of the summer.
Let me rant and rave here about people saying that I'm sick of going back in time. I don't need to see the same thing seen through other people's POV. Yes, you do, because it's going to be different every single time.
We've already proven that everybody sees everything differently.
We're going to get so much new information just from having different POVs that, yeah, I want to see it. You better bet your ass I want to see all of 2005 from Hughie and Lizzie's POV, because we know there's so much going on that we aren't clocking. With Mark, with the scary lady, all of that. You're not going to get from
and you can even
Johnny
say,
and
guys, I want everyone's POV, because in the future, I want to see Feely and Katie's POV and all this. What were they thinking, you know? We cannot sit here and judge all of these characters without knowing what's going on in all of their minds. You cannot say this character is completely evil and is irredeemable without knowing what's in her head. And you can't say this character is an absolute princess and can do no wrong without knowing what's going on inside her head. I want to see what's going on. I want to see these problems. I want to see these faults, because we all have them. And Chloe has written all 10 of these characters to be different, and I want to see everyone's differences and everyone's faults.
Yeah.
But you cannot sit there and say, first of all, I'm tired of people that are constantly bitching about the way that this series is written, and you're still reading it. Just go away.
Just stop reading it.
Seriously, go away.
I don't want to see them just get.
Because guess
stop
what?
using it for views. Stop using
I don't
it
like
for
going
clickbait,
back in time either. So you know what I did? I made a tandem guide. And so that when I do my rereads, I don't have to go back in time each time. I can just read through timeline order. That's also what's so fucking cool about this series, guys, is there are multiple ways of reading it. Now, you do need to read it in publication order your first go-through. But, yeah, I will admit when I'm rereading, I don't want to start with Johnny Shannon and then go back and get this Lynch depression again. I just want it all in one clump.
The only thing I would say about publication order, and this is after getting confirmation from Chloe here, is I would actually tell people to read Releasing 10 before Taming 7. Just because that is how she wanted it, and she still thinks that's how it should have been. Like, that's her biggest regret, is that she wishes that. So, in my opinion, if I'm introducing someone new to this series, I'm telling them to read Releasing 10 before Taming 7.
Yeah, I feel like, so the only thing I think will change, well, there will be, your perspective of Lizzie will change, but also the way that Taming 7 was written for Gibsie's reveal to be this twist. Like this jaw-dropping twist. You won't get that if you read Releasing 10 first. So I guess if you have friends and friends are asking you, because I've seen people on Reddit go, hey, should I read R10 or T7 first? I think go off of that. If your friend is somebody that likes twists or whatever, whether they're inappropriate or not, go for it. Or if you want, you know, the full backstory first, do it that way. Because I've kind of done that with friends too. I've asked them, well, what kind of dynamic do you want? So
yeah, I just think based on how Chloe originally wanted it is how I'm going to recommend it. I know, Bobby, I know, and Watson agrees. Watson agrees with that. But so we know we have Lizzie Hughie week coming up. Why is it Lizzie Hughie week? Well, because October 28th is the day, and I honestly, this is still my favorite meeting in the entire series, is the meet cute between Liz and Hugh. That's October 28th is the anniversary of when they first met, and it's when Hughie gives Lizzie the invitation letter. Oh my god, that scene on the bus is so cute. Like, when we're talking our favorite quotes and whatnot, our favorite moments, it's really hard to narrow it down to like one particular quote, because that scene on the bus in Hughie's internal monologue of is that my sister's friend? Please, dear God, let that be my sister's friend. Like, his internal monologue there is so adorable and so cute that that's one of my favorite scenes in the entire book. You know? And when he gives her the invitation and she's complimenting his G's, just in my opinion, one of the best introductions for a couple. And it's when they're little kids. For sure. We've all been there when you have that little childhood crush, you know, as little kids. Like, it transports you back into that time and that feeling. And so I that's one of my favorite moments of them, to be honest with you. Because I think it's them in their purest form.
I've always found Joey and Aoife's a little cringe. When Aoife's like, you didn't call me baby or whatever, or you'll be calling me baby by the end of the day. It was like, girl, you are 12.
Some bold 12-year-old.
Right?
I was not that bold at 12 years old.
No.
I was
Definitely not.
To go to the movie theater. Oh god, the whole gang wants to go to the movie theater, boys. Oh god. Like, that was scary.
And I will say I am a sucker for Johnny and Shannon's. Just because, I mean, it's
the football.
If the girl was already having an anxiety attack in the morning about everything that could go wrong, literally she's smashed in the face. Like,
and then you get his POV where he's talking about how hot she is the entire time.
He's like, please be a legal age. Please be a legal age. And then she's like, I'm 15. Fuck.
I'm going to jail. That is cute. But I think that in its purest form, Lizzie and Hughie is
for sure.
Yeah. And I think it's at their core the definition of who they are as a couple. I think that's why I love it so much, is because it embodies everything about them as a couple. Lizzie's moments, one of my favorite scenes, one of my favorite moments, and in my opinion, it's not a no matter what moment. It's not him saving her. It is her giving him the sneeze. When and he's like, he keeps correcting her. He's like, No, it's the Super Nintendo
SNES?
Entertainment. The SNES.
SNES.
She's like, sneeze.
I'm like, did anyone even freaking call it a SNES back then?
I know. Oh my god. It's, to me, that scene, if you were to talk about who Lizzie and Hughie are as a couple, I would say that scene. Because you get Lizzie just wanting Hughie to be happy in that scene. She's like, did you like the game? Like, everything in that moment is her focused on his happiness. And her wanting to make him happy. And that's what makes her happy, right? And him being like so enamored with her. To me, that is the embodiment.
We have to remember too that this is the first year she's had that's normal, where she's making school friends and being invited places, and
it's her first real grounding experience on how to interact with other children.
Right, exactly.
Without being told that she's awful, evil, disgusting, and no one likes her, you know?
Exactly.
So in her moments, but even her interactions with Hughie are different than her interactions with Claire, right?
Yeah.
Because in her moments with Hughie, she's desperately trying to make sure she is making him happy in those moments, you know? And the little things that she thinks aren't big, like giving him that, and he's like, oh my god, this is a lot of money, and she's like, but it's what's gonna make you, like, she's not even thinking about the thank you, right? She's thinking about the smile that it's going to bring to his face. It's her in her most selfless moments. And I think that embodies Lizzie underneath all of it. Underneath the trauma, underneath everything. She just wants her friends to be happy. She just wants everyone around her. That is why she defends them whenever they're picked on or being bullied. That is why she gets upset at Johnny for the whole Bella situation. It's because at the end of the day, she doesn't think she can be happy, but she wants everyone that she loves around her to be happy.
To be happy, yeah.
Yeah. So,
a lot of people like to forget that part.
Yeah, 100%.
When they like to make their narrative about Lizzie.
About Lizzie Young, yeah. And it's a false narrative. It's a false narrative.
Because I want to say that out of everyone in this group of 10, I want to say that the people that exemplament the best friendship qualities are Gibsie and, like it or not, Lizzie.
Yeah.
Lizzie went out of her way as a young child to make sure a member of Shannon's family would have a sweater to wear.
And once again, didn't do it for the thank you.
Yeah.
She pulled him to the side, didn't embarrass him in front of other people. Okay? She was very cautious as a child to look out for his feelings.
She didn't want the clout for it. She didn't want the praise for it.
No.
I mean, even Joey's like, what do you want? She's like, nothing. Just take the sweater.
Yeah. I agree. In my opinion, when she bites that old guy to defend her friends, and they're like, oh my god, you're one of us now because you bit that old guy. And in her mind, that she's like, I'm going to get in trouble for it. It's like, she knows she's going to get flack for it, but she still does it because she's just trying to defend her friends.
Yeah, you know? No, and that's why I've thought about it a lot lately, and I really think that Gibsie and Lizzie, they're fighting. It's why everybody's fractured. It's why nobody has a good fucking friendship right now.
It's because they're fighting. They don't have a good friendship right now. Yeah. They were, whether you like it or not, the glue.
They were.
And when that relationship
We talked about that on live last night, about how there truly are members of family that are the glue. And when they are gone, it's fractured. Yeah. Whether that's an actual family or a friend group.
Yeah.
You know, it happens. And I really, really think Gibsie and Lizzie are these two people that have embodied what friendship is.
Yeah. I agree.
And, yeah.
No, that's a great pull, actually. You're right.
Well, let's just not forget who coined her nickname. And who coined his nickname. And it was done out of love.
Yes.
Thor and the Viper were not malicious.
And I even don't think, if you go back, and I did a whole video on this that I haven't posted, and because I'm like, I don't want to get flack for it from the Claire Gibsie people, but I did a whole video on this. I do not believe, in my heart of hearts, some of the snippet we've gotten of Gibsie being like, because Elle posted that snippet of the cow, and Gibsie's telling Hughie, when Lizzie gets you back, she's not letting you go. It's going to be like a tick on a cow type of thing. Mm-hmm. In my opinion, that's not him being negative. I think Hugh had always been one of their biggest supporters. I think he had always saw how good Hughie was for Lizzie and how good Lizzie. That is why all of Taming 7, he's calling Hughie out. He is the one all of Taming 7 calling Hughie out. Like,
well, I think it's important that Gibsie was the one that walked in the room right after Hughie.
Yeah. And he defends Lizzie.
Yeah.
His first response is to try to see what happened to cause Lizzie to do this and to defend Lizzie. That is his first response. And this is after their fallout. He has no reason. If he wanted Lizzie gone, if he wasn't a fan of Lizzie and Hughie, he would have been like, I told you she was bad for you. She's a toxic, negative person. No, his first thing is like, maybe something happened we're not aware of. Like, his first thing is to try to defend her.
So I want to add on to that, because I know people are going to be like, how can you compare Gibsie and Lizzie being great friends to people? Okay, so Gibsie is the type of friend who is, let's sit here for a minute and think why. Lizzie is the type of friend, you did what now? You said what about my friend? Oh, bitch, it is on.
Yeah.
Okay? I don't know if you knew that or not, but having a friend like that is great to have on your team.
Oh, it's, yeah.
It's absolutely great. Like now, when they are your friend and you are fighting, oh, it's not good. It's not good to be on the receiving end of their stuff, as we saw. But we have to also remember that Lizzie goes hard for her people. Okay? Gibsie goes hard for his people, and I really do think that these two were the tip. They were both the tip of the star that just fractured the whole thing.
Yeah. And I think that core group can't be repaired until
they make repaired. Up. Yeah.
And I was going to say, even in the books, I think Gibsie has always been a defender of Lizzie, even when they're going at each other. I don't think they're using their nicknames in a negative way.
I don't think so either.
Because I still think that is what grounds them into fully becoming malicious and completely fracturing the friend group. It's actually kind of
because
their time.
You know, in a lot of stories, when characters have these nicknames and people are fighting and you stop using it and you use your real name and they're like, what?
He's no longer calling me baby? That's not allowed. Yeah. You don't call me by my real name.
I'm no longer McDreamy to you? Sorry, I'm on a Grey's Anatomy rewatch right now, so it's like, that's serious to them, right?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah,
so, I agree. I think once Gibsie and Lizzie make up, it's all just gonna, like a magic movie, you know, like Beauty and the Beast.
Yeah.
She loved him, the last petal fell, everything was magical again. I think that's kind of what'll happen.
When we get these snippets of Hugh defending Lizzie from the lads, I don't think it's defending Lizzie from Gibsie. I don't think
Gibsie's part of it. I think it's more Johnny, to be honest.
I agree.
Which I want to say, Johnny is because Johnny's defending his friend. Okay?
Yeah.
We all have friends that have been in relationships.
And I don't blame Johnny for that.
No. We all, like we said, everybody has their different perspectives. And we have all had friends over the years that have been in relationships. And sometimes we have different perspectives of those relationships. And we're like, I don't want to see you get hurt. I know I've stuck my nose in friends' relationships where I'm like, you should not be dating that person.
Yeah,
so it happens. And it comes from love and care.
Yeah.
But Johnny also doesn't know all the facts. So we can't fault him for that.
No.
And we also can't fault him for trying to be a good friend. And Hughie's also not going to give him the facts.
Hughie's not going to give him the facts.
Just once again, we can't fault any of these guys.
Hughie's not going to give any of them the facts because he is so desperate to keep Liz's private life private.
Yeah.
He does not want them going around talking Lizzie's business. He does not. He is desperate. He doesn't care if Katie gets the wrong idea when he's out protecting Lizzie if she's having. He doesn't care about that because he's not going to go spread Lizzie's business to her.
Right.
Because Lizzie is his main priority always.
Yep.
Always. He doesn't care how it makes him look. He doesn't. And at the end of releasing 10, which you've still not finished, those last few pages, it is very evident that if Lizzie had looked at Hughie and said, I want to come back, I think we should restart this, I'm healthy now, please, Hughie would have taken her back, because he's desperate in those moments of my heart wants her to just say, and she's pushing him away. She's the one saying, I'm not good for you, I'm walking away. And he's like, we can still be friends, we can still talk. And she's like, no, we can't. And he's like bawling, his heart is breaking, because he doesn't want her to walk away from him. She walks away from him in those moments to release him, because she feels that's what's healthy.
Thank you so much for confirming why I haven't read those pages.
Oh, it's rough. It's rough. Like, Hughie's desperate for, like, just to get her back in his life.
So, for those of you that have not, like, been following me all summer, I read to the part where they were playing the Stevie music to each other during the breakup.
Oh, gosh.
And because I know exactly what's at the end, okay? Yeah. I've seen it all. All right, I saw it before I even had the chance to read the book, which was freaking awesome. And so I just decided at that time, because we knew nothing about T10, whatever it's called, we knew nothing. And I'm like, you know what? I am not going to put myself through this without knowing when we're getting the next book. Mm-hmm. Because like I said before, Joey's duet release was magical. I don't think that's ever going to happen again, to be honest.
No. Not because publishing.
No. Saving 6 came out like President's Day weekend, and then Redeeming 6 came out the last day of March. And we knew this right away. So when I finished Saving 6, I knew I only had like a month to wait.
Mm-hmm.
This was just terrible. Because also, I want to add that the Saving 6 cliffhanger is really not all that bad.
No. Actually, I don't think it's bad.
They're like broken up, but they're not broken up. So it was not anything like this one. Nowhere leagues near. And so I just decided from all of these spoilers I saw, the clips on TikTok, I'm like, I can't do this. I cannot do this to myself. I know exactly what it is, but I'm not going to put myself through the emotions of reading it. So I will read it probably in January or February.
Yeah, and I don't blame you. I don't blame you. Because it is still something I will occasionally go back to, just that scene of them at the picnic table and him almost begging her to be in his life and her saying, no, we can't. And he's like, but we can still be friends. And she's like, no, we can't. And he's bawling. And he's like, and I just know, if she, in that moment, everyone could say Lizzie's selfish, she lets him go because she does not think she's good enough. He would have taken her back, and she lets him go. She does the most selfless thing a person can do, and say, I'm not good for this guy right now. I'm going to let him go. Try to be happy somewhere else.
Yeah, that's why I think just overall, their relationship, it just shows how strong both of them are, the things they've done for each other. And yes, I know people love to say it's not realistic with their ages, but, you know, a lot of young people do go through very hard things. And if you really, truly think that's not realistic, that's a privilege. That's an absolute
be honest with you,
privilege.
Here's something I don't tell a lot of people about. When I was 13 years old, I was preventing my brother from taking his life multiple times. I was the one my parents called to come handle my older brother who was having a mental crisis, trying to unalive himself. That was put on me at 13. So definitely, and guess what? That made me grow up real fast.
Yeah.
And I did it. And I did it for years, up until when I was working. I would get phone calls at work. Oh, your brother's having a crisis. You need to come take care of him. Your brother's in the basement. You need to come. You need to go. Like, that does happen in real life, you guys. It does.
Mm-hmm.
It's unfortunate.
It is unfortunate.
And it's messy.
That's why I said it's a privilege to truly stand 10 toes down and believe that these situations are not realistic. Because there are so many kids that have to grow up before before it's their time.
Yeah. Yep. 100%. It's sad, but it's realistic. Mm-hmm. And if you think it's not, or that this is trauma dumping, well, that's a real privilege for you, but you're talking about something that I've experienced and a lot of other people experience out there. So just because you didn't experience doesn't make it not real.
And also remember that when you were writing your heinous reviews on R10 saying Chloe needed to get her head examined.
Yeah.
When these were her personal life experiences.
Yeah.
So yes, it does happen. And also, I've seen the argument before of why Chloe gives so many people in one friend group traumas. That's unrealistic. Boo, that is also a privilege for you to believe that every single one of your friends cannot have some form of trauma in their life. We have been proven from this series, perspective is everything, and some people can clock things and others cannot. And I want you to take a good look at your very close friend group, and if you can honestly say not one single person has trauma within them, great, that's a privilege. You guys all rock. I'm happy for you because not everybody gets that.
Yeah, 100%. The negative reviews, and also I hate this thing, and we've talked about this. Hughie behaves too much like an adult. No kid talks this way. Yes, they do.
There are 100%. Some very, very mature children out there. I just want to say.
Both of us have worked in schools. Both of us have... Oh, you're going to be over here. Both of us have worked in schools. Both of us have worked with children.
Yeah.
Yeah. 100%. A lot of them can be, and you're shocked. You're like, wow, you're very mature for your age.
Yeah, it happens. And a lot of the times, those mature kids are the ones that had to grow up quickly.
Oh, there's something else going on underneath that you're not aware of. For sure. Let's talk, and I thought this was interesting, so Lizzie and Hughie Week has like a whole thing where each day they're doing something. We're kind of doing our own twist on that. But one of them that I do think is very interesting that we could dive into is the love languages. What do you think the love language of Hughie and Lizzie is? Do you know love languages?
Yeah, I think it's the acts of service or whatever.
I also think it's acts of service. Who do you think is acts of service?
Hughie, obviously.
Hughie is acts of service.
Yeah, but I think Lizzie is too. Because here's the thing, I am not going to count Lizzie's hypersexuality. That is a medicated side effect. We cannot count that. Yeah.
It's like nature versus nurture type thing.
Oh, you know what? I think I can pull up a love language thing and we can...
So, I 100%... I do not think it's words of affirmation because that doesn't work on Lizzie. No matter how many times Hughie tells her, like... because of her mental illness, so I think it's acts of service for both of them.
I agree.
Yeah, because they need that actual physical proof.
So it's acts of service, receiving gifts, quality time, which I could see being Lizzie.
Yeah, I could see it.
Words of affirmation, and then physical touch, which I said we are not going to count that because that is a medicated side effect. Yeah. So, I definitely think it's the acts of service. For these people, actions speak louder than words. Yes.
And I actually think we get so much confirming that in the snippets that we get from Chloe Walsh about how Hughie's going to be fighting temptation and fighting his morality and giving in. That is technically an act of... He's going to be choosing Lizzie, putting Lizzie first. He's going to finally be putting what he wants first. And that's going to matter more to Lizzie than physical touch.
And speaking of putting each other first, I cannot believe we haven't even discussed this yet. My favorite thing in the world, it's not even the 90s party.
What is it?
Here comes the bride.
Oh, yes.
Guys, it's pretty much all but confirmed.
You cannot tell me. It is... pretty much canon at this point that they're getting married. Okay, in the next books. For sure.
Chloe has posted how many playlists?
I mean, it's right there in front of y'all.
It is right there. It's right there. I've made a few videos on Hughie and Lizzie getting married. I made an updated one a few weeks ago. And this one chick tried to say it was the biggest overreach she's ever seen. And I'm like, how? It's literally right here. One of the wedding songs Chloe put in the Bot 7 Hugh Liz playlist. I don't understand. And then
I don't know how much clearer she could be.
I highly suggest you guys go check out that TikTok, but I'll just give you a little bit of a run through because Chloe loves her parallels, right? And we know that Joey and Lizzie are somewhat mirrors of each other. I have been looking at a lot of saving 6 versus releasing 10 in terms of what we'll get for the next book, because in saving 6, it's actually teased and foreshadowed about 3 or 4 times that Joey will get Aoife pregnant.
Oh my gosh.
And this is why this is so laughable to me, because there are so many people that after saving 6 still do not catch on that Aoife is going to be pregnant. And it's so weird to me because not a lot of people catch on to those clues in the 13 duet. They're very, very subtle. Joey clutching her stomach, keeping her from fighting Bella, you know, like your condition and all of that.
Your condition!
Yeah, and so it was weird to me, people that didn't clock that, because when they're like redeeming 6, pregnancy trope, where the hell did this come from? I'm like, it's on the cover. It's on the cover. It's right there. So anyway, I decided, I'm like, you know what? I'd really like to see some foreshadowing here. So yeah, saving 6 does tease him knocking her up several different times. Releasing 10 teases Hughie and Lizzie getting married 6 times. 6 times it is mentioned.
It is so often. And not only is that teased, but how it's going to happen is pretty much laid out for you. Yeah. She's going to go to a different school.
Chloe's posted the graduation list. That is why when this one girl said this is the biggest overreach she's ever seen.
We have the snippet of him, of Mike, basically threatening to put Lizzie back into a mental institution and telling Hugh he can't do anything about it, and Hugh going, "Oh, I think you'll find I can certainly do something about it." What do you think that means? What power can Hugh possibly hold there? I quite wonder. Geez golly, guys. Also, can we just talk about the playlist that Chloe just posted? Pete to Hugh. And it's, "Promise me, son, walk away from trouble if you can. It won't mean you're weak if you turn the other cheek." And then it's Hugh responding, "I promise, Dad. But Papa, I sure hope you understand. Sometimes you gotta fight when you're a man."
Interesting.
That's got to be about Mark.
Yep, for sure.
So there's so much foreshadowed in R10 that we get confirmation in the snippets. Another big thing, and I can't believe we haven't talked about this, is because I'm also very excited, looking forward to this, is Hughie's hand in Mark's downfall, which it is foreshadowed so many times. Number one, Hughie is so close to putting it together so many times. I almost want to go through and count how many times he was like, "Why are you touching her like that? Why are you coming in her room without knocking? What's going on?" Like so many times. Why are you looking at Liz? Like so many times he's so close to putting the pieces together. I'm like, Hughie, baby boy, like just put that puzzle piece together. It's right there. The fact that she doesn't start calling her monster the monster until Hughie has that talk with her about how it's the bad touch. Yeah, and only monsters touch kids that way. Literally, she does not start referring to Mark as the monster until after that conversation.
Scene, yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like, foreshadowing is so there. And so when you have a duet where you have one set up in the past, so if Chloe ever does this again with another couple, I highly suggest, when waiting for the next book, really look at that prequel book. Really look at little conversations, things that are teased a lot, because I'm telling you, Joey and Aoife, it was there. It was there. One of the last scenes of Saving 6 was when he goes to that former classmate's house on Christmas, who has a baby, and he's fighting with his baby mama, and he's like, "Get out, Joey, before this happens to you," and it's all there.
The amount of times he says that if he ever finds out that Mark has put his hands on Lizzie, he's going to physically harm Mark.
He said he put a bullet between his eyes.
A bullet between his eyes. And Lizzie's like, "You would do that? You would kill somebody for me?" And he's like, "For you, 100%. If I find out he ever put his hands on you."
Right? Yes. So we're not really talking theories on this episode, but I will say, if you watched mine and Grace's episode, Grace does have a great theory about this, about Hughie taking it a little bit too far and he maybe accidentally does, and this is when Mike will swoop in and kind of finish the job.
This ties back into my theory about Mike's childhood and Scary Lady now.
Yes.
Both of these kind of flawlessly go together, in my opinion.
Mike also had a lot of respect for Hughie, more than anyone else in either of his daughter's circles, I would say. And so I think that relationship is really going to be important.
I agree. We get the snippets of when Hughie shows up to the house after Kiva's death, and Mike doesn't want Hughie there first, but then he relents, and lets Hughie in.
Yeah, and he's very grateful that he's there.
Yeah, to help Liz. Like those are the little moments we get of Mike truly kind of being a dad to Liz. You know.
Going back to what we were talking about before about children having traumatic childhoods, Mike had one. Yeah. And it has fully affected the way that he is raising his children or his child. Yeah.
Releasing 10 talks about his childhood, about how scared he is to repeat the past of what he saw growing up. Like, it's in there, foreshadowed. We talked about this on the live. I literally, in my Scary Lady video, I go through and I read passage by passage of his childhood. It's all there. He's gonna have to step up, and I think Hugh and him are gonna have to work together, because
we've witnessed from the Lynch family arc that the things that happened to Marie at 14 affected her the rest of her life. Okay, things that happen to you, traumatic things, affect you for the rest of your life. We have to remember that Mike's father threw himself over a bridge. You think you're gonna grow up normal if your dad unalives himself?
And we don't know why.
And then your sister acts like this? You think you're gonna grow up normal? No, you are not. Sorry. It's just not going to happen.
And we know, based on what Chloe said, that the next few books have a thorough plotline. I'm very curious to see what that plotline is. And I'm assuming it's gonna have to tie into, like, the Young family history and stuff like that. That's just what makes the most sense. Because we have so much to unpack there.
Really, what a way to end high school. Could you imagine all of this your senior year?
No.
No. What a senior year. Seriously. What a way to go out.
My senior year, and, like, it wasn't like, a lot of people would be like, damn, you went through all that in your senior year. I mean, it definitely wasn't this, but, like, my issues with my brother trying to hurt himself. My uncle had cystic fibrosis. He was very sick, my mom and dad constantly fight. Like, there was a lot going on in my household in my senior year that I look back on. Now I don't think it's a big deal, but, like, I look back on and go, actually, I guess it is a big deal.
Yeah,
that was a lot for a kid to go through.
We had some private stuff. I'm not going to disclose it. But we had some stuff going on in my family my senior year, and it did affect me a lot. But it was nowhere near to this extent. So
no.
The fact that these guys are able to get up every morning. I know they're fictional, but still.
Yeah,
it astonishes me.
Let's talk Liz Hugh. And let's talk, what are you most excited for based on snippets we got? So we're not going to go into theories because we can't, but based on the snippets that are public knowledge, is there a snippet that you really gravitated towards that's Hugh-Liz related?
Honestly, it's the marriage. It's that snippet of Hughie talking to Mike. I think you'll find that I do have power, or I can, like, what was the exact line? Mike said, you have no authority here, or something like that.
Here. And there's nothing you can do about it.
Yeah, and he was like, I think you'll find that I can.
Yeah.
So, that one.
That's a good one. I think I'm most excited for, and it's a snippet of him saying, don't him. And I'm assuming it's talking about Pierce.
Oh, sure.
Yeah. And she's like, well, what's the alternative? And he's like, I don't know how to do it. And she's like, I'll walk you through it. Guys, I'm so excited for that scene.
It's going to be a fun time.
I'm so excited for that one. I think that's going to be a good one. I also think, to tie it all in, the scene of Gibsie giving Hughie the letter.
Oh, sure. Okay, so kind of to bring, do you think Lizzie Gibsie's makeup will be in Lizzie's book, Gibsie's book, or it will be in both, like from both of their perspectives?
I think we get it from both of their perspectives. I think we have to get it from both of their perspectives because there's going to be an awakening moment for both of them that they've been played by Mark and played against each other. It's going to be a big moment for both of them. We have to. Well,
they already kind of had that awakening, and then it was stopped. It was halted. Yeah.
Yeah. So we have to get a parallel to that.
Mm-hmm.
Quite honestly.
No,
and them coming together.
Remind me, that playlist, was that in Gibsie's or Lizzie's perspective?
It's Lizzie's perspective.
Okay.
It is Lizzie's perspective.
Yeah, because I think it's very important that we get it in both.
Yeah.
We need to see it in both.
Agreed.
We need to see, because obviously we can't make assumptions, but Lizzie's probably at her end here. She can't do it anymore. I don't know if Gibsie will stumble upon her or if he's racing to get to her.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That's something I've thought about since that playlist. Because we know that Redeeming 6, Lizzie stumbled upon Joey.
Mm-hmm.
Will Gibsie stumble upon her, or is he racing to get to her? Like, did she leave a note behind? A letter, if you will. Those people love their letters.
Or do they have a blow up and she says something and he has like an awakening moment and she runs off, clearly in a manic state, and he goes after her to like continue the conversation.
I actually had this theory after T7. After T7 and the reveals that came out and how manic she was at the end, I had this feeling that she was going to try something and it was always going to be Gibsie that saved her because it was going to be some blow up between the two of them.
Mm-hmm.
And I've said this before, I don't want Hughie to save her from a final attempt. I always wanted it to be Gibsie because I think it's important. It has to be Gibsie. This is how these two break down and can just get it out.
It also will show Lizzie that it's not just Hugh that cares about her.
Yeah, exactly.
I think that's something that's going to be very important going forward, especially after the absolute implosion of the friend group.
Yeah, and
why does that friend group implode again? Because of Lizzie
them.
And Gibsie.
And I've also said this too. Lizzie and Gibsie are parallels in the sense that they both had siblings and they both lost their sibling. Yeah. They view each other as siblings. Lizzie told Hughie that she was just as heartbroken as he was that she ended that friendship because she also looked at him as a brother too.
Well, that scene in the cemetery, she's begging him
she's begging
to say something.
Mm-hmm.
She's begging him, desperate. And we get it from he's like terrified to say, like, he doesn't know it's so sad to watch that friendship implode because it is Mark's doing.
Mm-hmm.
It is everything he wanted to happen.
Yeah.
And it worked perfectly for him.
Yeah, that's why I'm so ready to see them reunite. I think it's going to be epic.
I agree.
Especially because we all know so much of the tension and toxicity of this fandom has always boiled down to the way that Lizzie treats Gibsie. Yeah. It's always come down to that.
Everyone goes back to that camping scene, but no one also then looks right after that camping scene. She calls him Gibsie for the first time in years.
Yes.
She calls him Gibsie again. She's desperate, bawling, begging for forgiveness. She did not, you can say she's evil. She did not mean to go that far.
Nope.
She did not want to hurt him like that.
She even said, I pointed this out in a video, because it was in Shannon's POV, Lizzie was in shock.
Yeah. And I think Hughie's response to that is going to hurt her more, because she's like...
It confirmed it too in R10 when she was like 3 or 4, when she would have these blackout spells and scratch kids. She's like, well, I don't remember doing it.
Yeah.
They just pissed me off.
Mm-hmm.
So...
I think we're going to get from that scene why I think Lizzie's hurt over Hugh's reaction, which Hugh's reaction is normal. He's upset because he's probably has, like, PTSD from, you know, seeing Gibsie in the water again, right? Wasn't he there when Bethany was...
He did that. We saw that chapter from Hugh's POV. That was awful. Awful. That's, you know, another thing to add that a 7-year-old witnessed. Yes. Of course he's mature.
Yeah. So he's probably having flashbacks, and that's why he reacts the way he... And that's another thing, is the entire time, binding, keeping, taming, Hugh never really calls Lizzie out for her behavior towards Gibsie. He's actually one of the ones who stays silent.
It's not until that camping trip.
It is not until that camping trip that he actually says something, which is another reason why I clocked it immediately. I was like, interesting.
Yep.
Huh. Fascinating. But I think his reaction in that moment is a traumatic response, right? Because he's probably having PTSD. We know something probably goes on. We don't know what's going on between Lizzie and them behind. You had just something float behind you. It was really weird. Yeah.
Oh, I'm right next to the window, so it might be dust particles.
I was like, oh, weird. There's a ghost.
Don't tell me that.
But I think his reaction is going to be normal, but I think Lizzie's going to become really shocked by his reaction. Is going to take it very personally, and that's going to lead more of a downward spiral for her in those moments.
I agree.
So I think... So we have to get their POV in these scenes. We have to. It's just, we have a lot to cover. We have so much to cover. It's just, I really highly suggest, if you have not seen our first episode of that 2005 breakdown, go watch it. Okay? Yeah. I also want to point out that was way before we talked to Chloe, so you won't have any spoilers or anything in there. This is just what we thought were our ideas based on the content that we had. That was another thing, was mainly that project we focused on the context within the books rather than playlists. We did add playlists to kind of back up those theories, but we didn't add anything coming in the future. We went based solely off the books and dialogue and things that we could find within. And there is just a lot to Hughie and Lizzie. There's a lot, apparently we've been teased in some playlists about there's things going down at Easter, which you and I had suspected all along, because Easter in the 13 duet, we skip. We fast forward because Johnny and Shannon have both been in the hospital and they're rehabbing. So we skip past Easter. And I just want to point out that before Easter was the Dublin trip. Lizzie was pretty happy. After Easter, when they return to school, Shannon is pointing out that Lizzie's already cutting class with Pierce for personal problems. Yeah.
So.
And we have a snippet that says Lizzie doesn't start spiraling until after Dublin.
And so. I want to know how much Dublin will take up. I have a feeling that because of the 90s party in January, with New Year's and everything in Dublin, I feel like that first part of 2005 is going to be 200, 300 pages.
Yeah.
There's just so much to cover.
Yeah.
We got Brian and the diarrhea and just a lot. Well, also during Hughie Lizzie week, we know is Halloween. One thing I want to point out, have you seen people bitch about all the Halloween parties there are and why?
They're why is Hugh having so many parties?
First of all, this is Halloween, so there's a lot going on than just happy birthday to you. Seriously. Because first of all, the first time we ever got a Hugh Biggs Halloween party was not in Hugh Biggs' POV.
Mm-mm.
It was in Claire and Gibsie. So I just want to point out that is the dumbest thing to bitch about. When it's a Halloween party.
I mean,
it's literally a backdrop for so many things to happen.
For God's sake, people bitch that Hughie was rebranded how can you rebrand a character we've never had a POV from? That's so
I'm really sorry to say, you guys, but in the next book, we're going to have to get Halloween 2004, and we'll have to get Halloween 2005 again, so I'm so sorry. We're going to have to get two more. What is your favorite out of the costume duet that they've done together?
You've got to go with the classic where she shows up dressed as the doctor from Jurassic Park.
That was literally going to be mine because she went out of her way to really do that.
Cute.
So
and
what?
she's dressed.
Now, what were all their costumes? Obviously, we know Morticia and Gomez. What were the other ones?
I actually want to go back to Morticia and Gomez because I think we get a replay of Morticia and Gomez from Liz Hugh. I think they take that back because we know she shows up to Feely. With 2005, she shows up as Morticia, and he shows up as Gomez, and we know Hugh had a problem with that. He's like, I don't see it.
Yeah, like, I could easily see that.
I think they take it back.
But remind me, what were their other costumes? Morticia. I feel like these two were the big important ones.
Yeah. But I really do think we get a repeat of him showing up as Gomez and her showing up as Morticia to take that back. I could see that.
That would be fun.
And I would love it.
Okay, so before we wrap this up, I know this has been a little bit more of Lizzie talk, but I mean, let's face it. Any kind of topic that has Lizzie in it, she's just kind of gonna over foreshadow it.
And that is
that's no hate to Hugh Biggs because he would want that. He is a simp. Okay?
He's down bad for
He's down bad. It's just like we just finished a reread of Nightfall. Will Grayson will put Emmy on that pedestal and he will be back in the dust. Like
every conversation Hugh has always revolves around Lizzie too.
Yes.
So it's fine. It is what it is.
So what do you want to see from them in the future? I'm not talking about next book, so we're like discussing theories, spoiling anything, like in the future. Like when everything is done and these people can just move on with their lives.
I want them out of that town. I want them focused on...
I think everybody needs to leave that town.
Agreed.
To be honest. I think they all do.
That's why I like to compare this to the Hollow Boys, where they view that town as like a negative source of like trauma for them. And
be proud of me. I started it last night. Now, this is my third try, but I'm liking it more. So basically, this is so off topic, but we just wrapped up our Devil's Night reread, and I love Will so much. I had a hard time putting Will back on the shelf. And I was like, you know what? I want to keep going with these vibes. So a lot of people have been saying, just please try it, Ashley, try it again. So I am on my third try, and I'm going to see if I like it this time. But yeah, I can kind of get it. Like, there's a little bit of intrigue about the town.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, Ballylagan has been nothing but negativity for these people. Yeah. They all met their loves. That's what they needed. But there's been nothing but negativity. I mean, even Darren left. Darren needed a fresh start. Everybody else needs that too.
I agree. 100%.
So I want to see Hughie and Lizzie living their best life. He's a doctor.
She's a writer.
I
want to see her stable. I want to see them in a nice, healthy environment. I want to see them
with that young, old money.
Yes.
I love Lizzie's aesthetic of old money. I'm sorry. I love it.
I love that no one knows that she's rich as fuck. No one knows that she's got more money than Johnny. She's just born with it. She's just that girl, you know?
Yep, exactly.
I think I want to see them focused on each other, but also on their own journeys going forward. Because I think it's important to be together as a couple, but also focused on your own thing. Like Hugh focused on becoming a doctor, Lizzie focused on becoming a writer, but how they work together to make that work in their relationship. I want to see them have really a healthy dynamic and understanding of the past and the trauma they went through together. I really just want them to heal. And the bottom line is Lizzie cannot heal on her own. She needs Hugh to do it.
This sounds so bad, but I think for Lizzie and Hughie, they have to be married to heal themselves. Yeah. Because so much of Hughie and Lizzie and their trauma and the reason that they both cannot just move on with head on their shoulders is because they're both equally obsessed with each other. They're both constantly worrying about the other person, if that person's going to leave them, cheat on them, whatever. I think that they have to be grounded and married so that they can both go, okay, I've got them at home, now I can do this for me.
She posted a snippet today, and I think it's perfect in compass. It also goes back to something she told us on the podcast, even though people apparently think she didn't tell us anything. Her snippet is Liz losing her grip on her mental health, but hyper-focused on Hughie. Chloe made a comment in our podcast that no matter what, no matter if she's manic, no matter if she's stable, Liz is hyper-focused.
No matter what.
Always, no matter what, she's down bad for Hughie Biggs.
No matter what?
No matter what. That at the end of the day, that is her tether.
Yep.
And so I think that's important. We're going to see that as adults as well. Yep. Is they need to be married, in my opinion, because it also gives them a sense of stability. That no matter what, they're married. They've got each other. They can make it through it.
Yep, exactly. That's what I think.
Yeah. So I think the marriage is necessary.
It is.
To them growing.
Now, I'm not condoning it. I'm not saying, yes, if you're a teenager and your relationship is broken, go out and get married. But this is Hughie and Lizzie. Okay, this is a different dynamic. This is how it's been foreshadowed. This is how it's been written. And this is probably how it's going to be. So you cannot sit there and go, oh, shame on Chloe, condemn you. This is what Chloe's had in her. For one, these are her babies. This is the OG couple. Whether you like it or not, yes, Johnny and Shannon started the series. So they are the OG couple for us readers. For Chloe, the OG couple is Hughie and Lizzie. Okay? She got the idea based on them. Yeah.
And she knew that Lizzie was not her first book intro character.
Exactly.
And Liz and Hugh were not the first book. Like, you needed a softer couple to introduce the Boys of Tommen series.
And also, like I said at the very beginning of this podcast, I like the intrigue and the mystery. And I think a lot of people, like myself, was going to really, really gravitate more to Hugh and Liz because of that. Like, I need to know more about what's going on here.
Interesting. We just got a snippet that I think is very fascinating about Joey to Aoife, Hughie to Liz, the Ricey Pierce parallels.
Okay, I guess we'll just talk about that in a little bit. But, so Liv, do you have any kind of closing thoughts as we celebrate this Hughie-Lizzie week?
I love Hughie. They are probably one of my favorite couples of all time. It's going to be Zayd and Violet, Emery Will, Rook and Sage, Lizzie Hughie. But all of those have very similar dynamics. And the dynamic is that together they go through a lot and yet come out stronger. And that they put each other first no matter what. Right? I love a main male character who yearns and burns only for one woman, and it's the female main character, right? That's what I want. I want him so down bad that he's like, I don't care if she makes me look like a freaking fool. I want her to make me look like a fool because I am a fool for her, you know? And that's Hugh Biggs to Lizzie. And yet at the same time, he is her grounding force.
Yes.
She would not be alive if it wasn't for him. So together, it just shows in very different ways, but they are the red string together. They will forever be tied to one another, and it makes sense that they choose one another over everybody else.
Yeah, no, I wholeheartedly agree.
And I want that all-encompassing love, and that's what, at the end of the day, that's what Liz and Hughie are. It is an all-encompassing, overwhelming, either towards the negative or the positive. It goes both ways of where they're just all in with one another, right?
Right.
And it's passionate, it's toxic, it's loving, it's all of the spectrums you get with this couple. And,
you know,
I think that's realistic.
Well, and for me, too, what was so like kind of nice and refreshing with Hughie and Liz is it, in a way, it kind of took me back to Johnny and Shannon with Johnny's caretaker. I want to take care of you. Let me be there for you. You know, women, we want that, right? We want men to go out of their way to do that. And so, you know, Joey had his own demons. Gibsie had his own demons. And so I feel like with Johnny and Hughie, we see that more. And that was really nice.
We see that in the parallel with Aoife is the Johnny and the
Hughie. Yeah, that's true. That's very, very, you know? That is absolutely true. But when it came to Hughie and Liz's relationship, no
one calls Aoife a simp or said that she only puts Joey for. Everyone loves her for it.
Exactly. No, so I really truly think a lot of with Hughie, you get Johnny, that wanting to be that caretaker, the hero, if you will. You know.
Yeah. And that goes back to how he was raised and the morals that he's been told who he's been told he should be.
Yes, you have to remember that both Johnny and Hughie have very level-headed mothers that will tell them when they're doing something wrong with women.
Yeah.
So, Gibsie's mother, I don't really care what her fucking opinion is. So.
She's not even a mother, in my opinion.
Nope.
She's really not.
In fact, when Healing 7 comes out, I want to do a whole podcast episode where we just trash that woman.
Oh my god, can we?
Please, yes.
Yes. Yes, I'm down.
As a mother, I am judging. Full on.
I'm not a mother, and I judge. And I grew up, my mother wasn't perfect, but my mother still protected me in a lot of ways, and would never do half the shit that this bitch does to her son.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
She puts everybody else above her own child.
Mm-hmm.
That's gross.
Yep, exactly. But with that, like I said, it is the beginning of Hughie and Lizzie week, as we have posted this podcast. So if it is Monday and you are watching it, happy beginning to Hughie and Lizzie week. And guys, please don't think that this is just special to Hughie and Lizzie. I want to do these kind of celebrations all the time. Trust me, like we just said with Healing 7, I'd like to do a whole celebration for Gibsie. Lots of Gibsie parties. Like, we have a lot of fun plans.
You will not catch me in other ones, but I will be there for the Gibsie.
Well, remember I told you, you and Gibsie are almost birthday buddies. Like Lizzie and I are almost birthday buddies.
I know. I'm excited. I'm excited to see. Number one, I desperately need this ending to get out of my head. Okay.
Yeah.
I desperately need this ending to get out of my head. I desperately need to see what is going down in Hugh's mind to stay away from Lizzie all of 2005.
Yeah.
Because I think what we're really going to see, to be quite honest with you, is Lizzie pushing Hugh away.
Yeah, I agree.
That's the only thing that makes sense. I think we see her pushing him away.
Yep.
Because...
Yep, it's gonna hurt. It's definitely, there's gonna be a lot of emotions, but we're gonna get through it together. Which I'm excited for, because my entire journey with this series has been alone.
This is so fascinating to me that we now have like this whole Discord community.
We have a whole community now.
We have a whole
like I said, guys, I have been on this journey by myself for 3 years. I've put up through the depression and the sadness. We all get to do it together. So if you have not joined our Discord, please go and do so.
Like, they're so excited to do the tandem read with us.
Yeah,
we're gonna do
the timeline guide that I made. We're gonna read in timeline order before T10, C10, whatever the hell it's called, comes to us.
Drop a poll so we can name the book, Chloe.
Yes. I did send her a few ideas, and she did like them. So
okay.
We shall see.
All I talk to her about is those terrible reels.
I talked to her about productive things.
Keep on track. Did you see this? She's like, did you see this one? I'm like, I haven't seen that, but have you seen this one, girl?
Could you imagine if she got a plot idea for one of the Boys of Tommen books from one of those reels?
Why is Katie Feely's story about her being reincarnated?
Oh my god.
Where did she get this idea?
And on that note, thank you guys so much for listening along. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe, share the video, follow us on Instagram for more news.
What is your favorite Lizzie Hughie moment? What is your favorite quote? Drop them down below. Follow us on Instagram, because there's
we have tons of posts for this week. So yeah, just make sure you are following us. Yes. And we will see you on the next one. Bye.
Bye, guys.